Did you know that 71% of the people that watch Matthew Kelly's videos are not subscribers? That makes no sense. We need to change that. Subscribe today. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on another great video ever again.
There are some events in our lives that stir our souls so deeply that they change us. They change our lives forever. I've had a number of those experiences, and one of those experiences was in my sort of mid-teenage years. It was when someone taught me how to pray, and it was one of those days that, I'll never forget. I was going to a basketball game with a friend of my family's, and we knew each other really well, and we played basketball together, and we're going to play, and he was the one who had challenged me to stop by church for 10 minutes a day on the way to school each morning. And we're driving to the basketball game, and he said to me, have you done your 10 minutes today? And I said, yeah, I have. And he says, well, we're a little bit early, why don't we stop by church? And we stopped by this church, this beautiful church, and we went into church, and just before we went in, he said, listen, when we get in there, I'm going to take you through an experience of prayer that I found really helpful to me, and we get in there, and we sit down, and he opens with a prayer, and then he reads a short passage from the Gospels, and he explained to me that he would read short passages every 2 or 3 minutes and encourage me just to talk to God about whatever in that passage sort of touched my heart or stirred my soul or challenged me or encouraged me or whatever. And he did this for about 30 minutes. At the time, it felt like nothing. The time passed effortlessly, and it wasn't until we came out that I realized we'd been in there about 30 minutes, and he'd read this series of passages, and then I just talked to God about what was in the passage, and it was an astoundingly profound experience. It was a truly life-changing experience, and we use that phrase often, but often we use it in ways that don't truly represent what it can be, what it should be. As I look back on that day, I realized that we were running early for a reason, and the reason was he had planned us. He had planned us. He had planned for us to stop there. He had planned to teach me how to pray. And it changed my life. I can't imagine my life without prayer. I can't imagine my life, looking back, I can't imagine my life without that day. Because the lesson that he gave me that day was astounding. I mean, just, there are no words. And he had planned it, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, to give somebody that gift is incredible, but to plan it out and to make plans to make it happen is extraordinary. We talk about the idea of evangelization. Wow, it's a profound example of that. I want to encourage you to dig into 2 other resources today. I really want to encourage you to read the section in the book, that is called The Day My Life Changed Forever, because it talks about the experience. I go through the whole experience in a lot more detail there. The second thing I want to encourage you to explore is an extra video that we'll make available to you today, which is from an event that I did in New Orleans a couple of years ago, where I took a group of people through a very similar experience using the prayer process. And hopefully those 2 resources will really ingrain into you how powerful this form of prayer, this prayer of the heart, this conversation with God can be in your own life, and give you answers to sort of practical questions you might have about how does it work? How do I do it? Because those practical questions are just as important as being inspired to do it. Nothing will change your life so completely and forever like really learning how to pray.